Oh,
Wait till he's got the light on.
Not yet, and you can
Oh.
also, he'll give you a thumbs up.
See, I think it's the
I
lights
thought it was
behind
up
you,
here.
correct?
No, it'll be here.
It's
Oh.
this
it's
one.
that
The
one.
big, the big.
But it's got the
Oh,
little,
There
there
we
it
go.
is, okay.
Right there. You're now live.
we're now live. Okay. I'd like to call to order. It is 1:02 PM on February 26th to the CELCAB meeting. And first, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. And roll call, please. Yeah, okay, Carolyn, want to start?
Carolyn?
Ellen Vaughn?
Sherry Smith.
Barbara Hill.
Becky Warner.
Gary Henderson.
Becky Warner.
Karina Brites.
And I guess we have, Lori Wolf is not here. Is she, did she call you?
Lori Wolf.
Lori Wolf? Okay, all right, thank you. Well, has everyone read the minutes from
Do we have
last?
to, okay, Carrie?
Yeah.
Oh, where is Carrie? Okay, hi, Carrie.
I said Carrie Henderson, sorry.
We do?
I believe
Yeah, I think we have
By
to
Zoom?
consensus to allow her to join us via Zoom.
All right, do I have a consent to allow Carrie to join us by Zoom?
Yes.
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 Okay. Hi, Carrie. Want to check in? Hi. Okay, we do have a quorum then, so we're good. Has everyone read the minutes from, this would be December?
Yes.
I didn't, Karina, do you have the copy?
It was November.
Not in my packet.
And if anyone has any corrections or amendments,
She's got them.
I'll give you a few minutes to look them over, because I think some just
They
got
usually-
them.
They usually come attached along with your report as part of the package. And all I have is, I have the agenda.
I had mine attached to my email.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
always November. It was in November.
It was November.
Yeah, we didn't meet in December.
Oh, that's right, we passed in December, and we did not meet in January due to personal reasons. So, does anyone have any corrections, or would you like a minute to read it? Read through?
And nobody else has a copy?
Don't have a copy.
Oh, okay. Well,
I have 2 copies.
okay, why don't we,
I didn't have any corrections.
no corrections?
I didn't either. I did not have any corrections.
Okay,
nor did I.
okay, nor did I.
Nor did I.
I read it online, so,
Yeah, I did too, but I just wanted to review it. It's good.
I'll move to
Okay.
accept. I'll make the motion to accept.
okay, Ellen Vaughn has made the motion to accept the minutes. so
I
have-
second.
And a second by Carolyn. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Okay. Public comment. This is exciting. We have people in the audience. Come on up.
My name is Joe Pugliese. Couple comments I'd like to make. One about
Can
We
can you
can't
speak a
hear you.
little louder?
Turn it on.
Yeah, there we go.
One of the comments is about the Mound House and the underground exhibit. The first time I went that, I was thrilled. Anytime I had a visitor on the island, I would always bring them there. To me, it was the most important part of the Mound House, is to see the history of this island. One of the other meetings, we were talking about how expensive it would be to repair it and get it going. It doesn't have to be. There's a couple of things you can do. I gave you a handout. The underground low-voltage lighting is extremely inexpensive. You don't need all the code variations and everything else in order to do that. You can even do it with portable lighting. As far as the wall and the structure and the collapse, you can inject, there's a vinyl that can be injected in the ground to support that wall so it wouldn't collapse. I think you could do both of those for under $20,000 and have the thing open and running again. And I'd like to see you guys look into it, because I really think that the underground exhibit should be reopened. Second thing I want to talk.
Did you say that there were materials that were in our packet? Is it this? that-
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Just some information about different type of lighting, and a lot of museums are using that type of lighting.
Okay.
right now. It's a low voltage, so you don't have to have all the electrical worry about wiring and someone getting electrocuted and all that. It's low voltage. The same thing you see into a camper or a motorhome. It's 12 volts. You could touch it all day long and you're not going to get shocked. So you don't have to worry about flooding and the dangers that are involved with it.
Fantastic.
Second thing I wanted to talk about was Newton Park, because nothing's going on. It's been 3.5 years. The last I heard talking to Jeff is they're talking about putting a wall there now, mitigation. They already have a wall there. A lot of these people don't realize it. 8 or 9 years ago, they put in a brand-new 10-foot deep break wall that's there. That's how deep it is, and it's brand new. I've got a picture of it. You can see after Hurricane Irma, the sand all got washed away, but the wall did what it was supposed to do. There's no reason to wait to do something with the wall. Plus, you have all the plants and all that there right now. I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't be started on that. I know the money was approved over a year ago. I know we went out for bids just for the contractor finally this summer, and we just keep dragging our feet on it. And I don't see any reason why we're doing that. That's all I have to say.
Thank you,
I
Joe.
agree.
Thank you, Joe. Can
I
make
didn't
a comment
recognize you
there?
without your wig.
Can I make
Carrie?
a comment real quick? Well, this is the first I've heard of this wall, and I've been to all the meetings. So, I mean, why all of a sudden I've not heard about that at all? Because I would have said the exact same thing Joe did, because before they put all that sand out there and all that silly grass that's gonna be gone anyway, before they did that, you could see the wall as plain as day. There was nothing wrong with that wall.
Shall I get him to come turn this up?
So why is this, I'm on this board, and why is that the first time I've heard of that from Joe right now?
You're not the only one.
All right, thank you.
So I actually ran into Joe and encouraged him to come to this meeting. And it dawned on
That'd be a
me
great
that
idea.
there may not be records in the town that this wall exists. I have a vague recollection of it being installed. I know Allison was here, and I know that the work was going on, and there was some discussion among civilians like myself as to whether or not it was appropriate to put it in. But it was there. So I'm not sure if those records got lost.
If you don't mind.
That would be
No, go
lovely.
ahead, please.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, we do know about the wall. Actually, yeah, I appreciate that. Jeff did bring it to my attention not long ago. It's not what's holding up the Newton Park project, if that's part of the question. So actually, on Monday's town council meeting, you'll see one of the agenda items is for the town council to approve me to begin negotiations with an engineering and design firm for Newton Park, to bring it back. I know it's taken a long time. It's taken years. One of the challenges with CDBG-DR funding is the process that you have to go through. You know, even after they award the funding, which funnels through the state and then through the county, after all that happens, then there's the process of everything that we would normally do for a project in the town then has to go back up for approval by county, you know, for them to release the funds. We've done that. The team has done a terrific job. So it went out for bid, 3 different contractors for design and engineering. The committee for selection selected one, recommended to me. I'm going to ask council for the approval to negotiate with them. After that approval is granted, it'll take a short time because they've done works for us before. And then they'll begin the design and engineering for, you know, proposals that would come back to us on what they recommend for a rebuild of Newton Park. And then after that's approved.
How much are we talking this is gonna cost?
No.
We only have $3.2 million for our beautiful park there that everyone's still using all the time. So I'd like to know, how much does this cost, this wall?
Well, yeah, right now a wall is not a part of the Newton Park rebuild. You know,
Okay.
there's a wall as discussed. There's a wall, you know, that was built in the past there. You know, and it goes down well down into the ground, and it blends in with the natural scenery and everything, and that will continue to be there. Further projects down the road for the town of a wave mitigation wall in different sections, which has been discussed, is not part of this project. That's a separate discussion. If those projects go forward, we will try to integrate those in with existing, you know, walls and dunes and so forth. But we haven't. That's a different project. For the Newton Park project specifically, you know, right now the wall's not going to be a part of it. They're going to rebuild. They're going to redesign the park. After the redesign and engineering is done, it'll come back for approval. We'll have to go again and get the approval through the CDBG-DR process. And then after that's processed, then we would move to another contracting process for the company that'll build it for us. So it's still, it's still, a while out till we see a complete Newton Park. But I feel really good that we're actually starting the process. We've got an engineering firm.
I have a question.
ahead.
Will,
Yeah.
thank you for that. During that process of that coming back to you, what part of CELCAB is part of that conversation?
Right.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll have to follow up with Jeff. I know he has the intention, as they go through that process, to get as much feedback and input as possible into that before. So I'll run that back up to Jeff and recommend. I know Jeff has a great working relationship with all of you, so I'll let him know that you've asked the question. And
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
And
it's
we
going to be a
did-
little while till we have
we did a
this.
landscape.
Right, we did years ago.
You provided some feedback
Obviously,
already.
had worked with, I believe it was Dover Cole, the urban planning,
Okay.
to come up with a plan, and
That's
that was the
correct.
plan that was supposed to be the, am I right, Carrie?
Yes,
That
you
was
are-
the original
I have
plan.
it right
Okay.
here on our agenda. I'm just kind of confused why we even have this board when we have these meetings, and then it seems like we are always going back to something else. I mean, I'm starting to get very frustrated, and maybe the town, we need to have a meeting with the town on this. I don't understand why we have this board, us ladies and gentlemen, spend all this time every month, and we prepare ourselves for meetings. We want to make sure we're in attendance for it, but then nothing has happened.
Okay, so if you could be more specific as to what part of the process, we just approved a design and engineering company. So they haven't even started, well, we've selected one that I will start negotiations with to enter into a contract with.
For Newton
Then,
Park, we approved that over a year ago.
not to have a contract for a design and engineering company. No. I mean, you might have approved, if you're talking about what Ms. Hill just briefed to me as far as
A landscape
a
plan.
design and a landscaping design,
It
which
was basically
could be
a site
incorporated
plan.
into this. I'm not aware of that. I'll ask Jeff about it to make sure that all of that is, part of the, when they start working on actually engineering and designing. Right now, this is just to hire them to
Okay.
do that work.
Can you explain
Because
to
it's
me
a
what
process.
the engineering design means exactly? What do you guys have to do? What does the engineer design have to do then? Explain
It's-
that to me.
Well, so what do we have to do before you even get to a build phase is the architects and engineers and landscaping architects and engineers, and I realize if one has already been done, I'll ask Jeff about that to make sure that we don't duplicate our efforts here. So, as much as possible, they're gonna have to design the whole lot, all of the architecture, all the design for what the structures are gonna be, what the landscaping is gonna be, what the engineering work is gonna be on the lot itself before they even start building.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you. We all agreed that we were going to have the pull-away bathrooms because we're not building bathrooms up 2 stories high, which is absolutely ludicrous. And we all agreed that we were going to have picnic tables and everything. So I don't know what kind of building structure you're talking about.
Well, most of what you just described, I know that Jeff has that information and has already had some of those initial, that was part of when the companies came to bid, the different companies came to bid, a lot of that was integrated into it. They're not, the designs won't have exactly some of the stuff that you explained. And, it's going to be mostly, as much as we can do in remembering what it used to be, but it's not going to be exactly the same.
Well,
I hear what you're saying, and I do know that Jeff has all of that information, and it's so that phase of when they start to actually draw out and then include the engineering specs that go behind the drawings is still to come. Not saying that it won't integrate work that's already been done, but we're not even. I understand what you're saying. Don't worry about that stuff's not going to be included. You have no worry about that. You
That's
shouldn't
not
be
the
worried
point,
about it.
sir. The point is, we've been messing with this for over a year. And I don't understand why this board keeps voting on something, and then you guys come in and you make total changes that we're not even...
What change have I made? What change? No change.
No, this new engineer company. I mean, we never voted on that. This is first we even heard of this.
Because that is the process for the town and the county. The selection of the engineering and design firm, and then the contracting firm later. That's a decision for me and town council.
I'd like
That's
to know
all.
how much that cost.
It'll be no more than the grant funding we got from CDBG-DR. And I can provide that to you.
Let
I would
me
like that.
understand.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let me understand what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
Will, is that you're saying that all of the things that we worked on as a committee, as a board, has been in the conceptual drawing phase, which we worked on, and Jeff has that.
Absolutely.
And your work right now as part of the town is to secure, you've already received the
Right.
funding, that's been in place. You've already got the bids, you're going to get these design and engineering drawings. And when that's going to be done, those conceptual drawings that we worked on, Jeff will present to that firm, correct? So that when
Yeah,
they do
no,
the bid for the budget, when they're doing their construction bid, all of the things that we integrated into that park was going to be done.
Yeah, I understand, exactly what you're asking, and thank you for that. Yes. I know that a lot of those materials, a lot of what we wanted, what you discussed with Jeff and his team, a lot of what you wanted was integrated into the request for proposals, the request
Right.
for bids. So when the companies came in, they already had an idea.
Okay.
They already had
So-
those ideas of what we were looking for. And I say we, I mean a town, including the committee, what we were looking for in that area. And then they came in and they pitched how they would meet those objectives for us.
Right.
3 different companies came in, all very good presentations. 2 of the 3 were ones that have done work and are currently doing work for us here on the town.
Great.
And, Tracy, my deputy, she was part of the committee along with Jeff, along with a couple others, and they selected one. I can't name them right now because I have to get approval on Monday from council, and then it'll be public, and we'll move forward with them as quickly as possible.
Okay,
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but I'll get
Yeah.
the other information to your board member
Carrie. Okay,
later on
great.
today, okay?
Also
Okay.
too, and the noon news, I had the noon news on, and they were showing Newton Park and about all the piles of sand and everything, what was gonna come, and then they were saying, well, they're gonna have, maybe tiki huts, and they were giving examples already of things that could go on at Newton Park.
I think it's
So
exciting.
just-
We're seeing progress with Crescent Park, the county park up on the higher side. We're going to move forward with project here in the next few months with the design and engineering aspects of
Okay.
Newton Park, and then the others as well. So I really appreciate that.
Right, yeah.
I know it's slow, but we're going to ensure we get it across the
Okay.
finish line.
I think
Okay.
part of the delay also was because of Hurricane Ian and the beach renourishment project and the necessity of those trucks and that sand to be placed on that park. And that project was over a year long
project
and
did go
delayed,
long.
and delayed substantially, which, Carrie, I hope you're recognizing that it really wasn't the town's fault that this has been so delayed. It was partly because of FEMA's issue of the beach renourishment.
The beach renourishment project did go about 6 months longer than originally anticipated. You're right, and that had to be completed first. We also went through a couple of rounds of not receiving enough bids. It went out for bid a couple of times. I'm sure Jeff probably spoke about that. And we didn't get enough bids back because one of the CDBG-DR requirements is you get a minimum of 3 bids. You have to try that at least twice. Same ran into the pool. Same thing with the pool. We didn't get enough bids. Finally, they did get bids, so we're able to move forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the bureaucratic process, but because it's not our money, we have to justify every penny. So,
Okay.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good thing you came.
Yes. Did any of this? Joe's?
That's Joe's.
I know.
Did you make more copies?
I handed them out. So, okay, thank you very much. I appreciate both of you guys, your input.
Hey, you guys.
We
can you
have-
send me, via email Joe's.
We have several items here that,
Carrie, part of the problem is we can't hear you very well. Can you turn up your volume?
I have my volume up. I don't know,
Okay.
maybe they there.
Okay,
No.
Um,
You say.
okay.
I'll turn up my mic more, how's that?
Make copies.
Here's my, can you guys make sure that you email me Joe's packet, please, so I can take a look at that?
I know, we're just discussing that. So are there any questions? Any discussion on any of the public input?
I'm glad he was here to
Yes, then we thank you very much for
Elaborate, yeah.
coming.
Yes, thank you, Joe, for
Yeah.
coming, and thank you, Will, for clarifying, and, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I do have a question, because I think Joe brings up a really interesting proposal, and I'd like to have Karina sort of respond to that. Karina, if you would give your input as to the feasibility of what Joe's proposing?
Absolutely. I believe that it's definitely something that we are considering at this time. And so we're gonna take a look at this and start figuring out a plan on getting things rolling. Absolutely.
So then, are you going to research that and give us a report next month?
Yes, I will.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. Thank you, Karina. We have a lot to discuss today, so moving on. Items for discussion.
To the Mound House.
Oh, I thought we did. I was
The
thinking
staff
Joe's.
report, it's Karina.
Oh,
We haven't had any staff reports.
All right.
The staff was Newton, yeah.
I'm
yeah,
gonna
till
do
I took a break.
A brief staff report for the Mound House.
Okay.
First, I wanted to let you know that our visitors' attendance grew by 17% last month, and we doubled the amount of programs. So that was an increase of 118% compared to January of 2025. We had 2 movies on the Mound, one in January 10th, the other one February 21st, and also, we were very happy to receive a Rose Grant Award for $5,109 from the FMB Chamber of Water Foundation, which is to support our continued maintenance of the water quality monitor at the Mound House. We also launched a marketing campaign. Basically, we're doing a lot of Facebook advertising and a lot of new posts, and I gave you a report on how much that has been helping us. We had an increase of over 446% of total views on our Facebook page, and the amount of visitors at the Mound House has been increasing, so we believe that it's directly related to the amount of exposure that we've been having. We are happy to have a new community conversations next month, and the next one will be on March 19th, and our guest speaker will be Susan Grace, and she will be talking about the history of the Mound House and her experience, as well as the late Bill Grace connection to the Mound House.
Did you say March 19th?
March 19th, yes.
7:30?
7 times.
It will be at
5:30.
5:30 for refreshments, and lecture will start at 6.
You said March 19th.
March 19th,
Thursday.
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I wanted to give you an update as well that our education coordinator left January 24th, Emily.
Oh.
And due to that reason, we had to put on hold our beach walks and our kayak tours. However, there are still yoga classes ongoing every Monday, and we are also starting our new volunteer trainings and refresher so that we can start bringing back more volunteers. And we're working on a virtual training so that it doesn't take a lot of staff time, and we can train volunteers as soon as possible. So that's as far as January is concerned. I will have the February of when it ends so that I have the complete month. And if you like, I can send it to you via email.
When you're excuse me, are you done? I didn't know.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
done.
Sorry. When you're comparing, are you comparing the previous month, or are you comparing year to year?
Year to year.
Year to year. So when you were saying that there was an increase in January, you're comparing it to the previous January?
Correct.
Okay, that's great. That's very
Yes,
helpful.
yes.
Also, I don't have any of the materials here that you talked about the action plan. I know that we were going to have that as a discussion. Is it possible for us to get copies of that? I mean, normally, we do get them on email, and I've had a chance to review them, but I never print copies out, thinking that they would all be here for us to
Okay, all right.
discuss.
No
So
problem.
maybe while we're talking about other things, we can get all of those other materials for us to
Absolutely.
discuss.
We'll get that done.
And Karina, on the, we're going back to a speaker, and you mentioned having maybe wine and refreshments. Is that going to be provided then again by the Mount House like you did, or did you want people to help and bring in, like the Friends used?
It usually supplied by the Friends.
By the
Yeah, so-
Friends?
yes.
So you require the Friends
We'll
to,
let them know.
yeah, we have to let them know. Is that,
Friends, yes, I will definitely.
do we, yeah, do we have wine? And do we have any supplies at all?
We do have some, but I will reach out and make sure that we
I
have.
thought
Okay.
there was a policy that we couldn't serve wine.
If the Friends are supporting the.
Event.
The event, yes.
Then you can.
So are you saying that the Friends will now start providing support for the lecture series?
They always did for the
always
No,
lectures,
did.
yeah.
no, Adam took it over.
That's right, that's
Yeah,
what I
but-
was
but
going to
Corinne's
say.
giving it-
This past year and a half or 2 years?
Yeah, yeah,
The
he
Friends
took it
did
over.
not sponsor
Right.
the lecture
We
series.
used to.
Right.
Well,
We-
I-
the
we-
refreshments, the
Wait.
refreshments.
Okay, so it's not
Wait
that
a
they
minute.
always did it, initially, the Friends initially did the lecture series, sponsored it, provided the wine,
Right.
And then, for a period of 2 years, that didn't happen.
Right.
So what I'm
Correct.
hearing you say is that we're going to restart the program where the Friends will be responsible not only for
And
sponsoring
involved.
the lecture series, but also providing the refreshments.
Correct.
Okay, what
Are
do you
you
think,
aware of that?
Ellen?
Well, I'm not on the board of the Friends of the Mount House anymore.
You're not
You're
even
not?
on the board at all?
No,
No,
no, I
but
can't
you're-
be. I can't.
Right, but you're a member.
Oh, I'm
you're
a
a
member,
member.
and I'm aware of what Karina is speaking of, and I know the leadership of the Friends is comfortable with
Is
that.
comfortable,
Okay,
good.
so who are you communicating with as far as friends?
Nancy Smith, Beverly,
Nancy.
and Beverly, yes.
Beverly, okay. And also, one other question, we're short one person. Do we have, we have feelers out for hiring somebody else? I know you could,
We are currently looking for, I know we have applicants, and HR is currently working on getting those interviews
okay,
set up, yes.
okay, give you some help here.
And may I just interject here? This is really most appropriate for us to congratulate Karina on the official position now of being the
Yes.
museum manager. There for a while, you were a coordinator, and then you were interim manager for a period of 3 or 4 months after Adam had left. And now you've been officially hired as the museum manager, and just offering my congratulations.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
all of ours.
Yes.
So, very-
It's a wonderful
So,
appointment.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. And I must compliment you too, because you're keeping Facebook, you're keeping the Mount House right out there
Out in public.
on Facebook. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Oh,
So,
good.
Is
that's,
Instagram as valuable for you?
It
or
is,
that-
yes.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so we do post on both.
that's great.
The meeting pack was very well done.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
But I'll make sure I have it printed.
Yeah, so we
package as
have it
well.
in front of us,
Yes.
right? Okay, great. Okay, anything else on the Mount House, Newton Park,
No,
the
no,
staff?
this is it so far.
No? Okay.
So what about the rearrangement? Are you,
Well,
That's
I
later?
think it's under.
That's
items
later,
of
yeah, it's
discussion.
coming down, so I said we have a lot of things to cover here. So, anyone have any more questions for Karina? Okay, then we will move on to items for discussion. And first is our MAP program, and we okayed the collection, and everyone approved it. And Karina, do we have a date when that goes before? We have to present it to the council. Do you have a date for when we have to do that?
For the rearrangement.
For taking the collection that we okayed, you know, the collection.
Collections,
That we voted
yes.
on.
That needs to be presented to
Council.
the collections management policy. Yes, that needs to be presented to town council. And I don't have the date. I know it's not, has not been presented yet.
Okay,
So
yes.
probably for the next, not this coming meeting, but the following.
The
Because we
following
need, yeah,
meeting.
2 weeks
So
to.
you're talking about specifically the collection management policy.
This is the collection
Correct.
management.
And that's something that we voted on, and once we vote on something, then obviously, then we're doing a recommendation to council. Council then has to review that, make sure that, you know, they've been voting specifically on our recommendation
Right.
to approve.
Correct.
So who makes the,
And
who makes the
So
presentation to the
I
town
have,
council?
I have asked Barbara if
And I
she
will-
would be
If I
kindly
know
do
what
it.
date it is, that I think I'd like to do it on the very date that they're, but I need to know the date before I.
Oh, absolutely.
Which of the council meetings.
Right.
So if you could let me know.
I will,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So, because Barbara's very familiar with it and helped write it, and Karina was helping also. So I would dearly appreciate that, Barbara, if you would cover that with the council.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
actually, the MAP program is different because the collections management policy is what was the board action and
True.
the approval. So that's different from the action plan, which I still would like a copy of while we're having this meeting. This meeting now, right now. Can you make copies?
For which
The,
meeting?
This one.
Of the map.
materials that you presented
For
via
everything?
email, we need to have that. If we're going to have a discussion, we need to have those materials in front of
Right,
us.
right.
And we've been accustomed to having the materials given to us physically as well
Okay,
as in email.
No problem.
Do you have that?
I do have it.
You want me to
And,
run
Okay.
it somewhere?
I believe the front desk will be able to.
Okay. So we will wait
I think so.
until that is presented
Or maybe
to
we can
available.
talk about something else and get back to the
That's what
MAP
we're going to
plan.
do. So,
And I'll take it be printed.
okay. I'd like to move on then to strategic plan. We have talked about having a strategic plan, and we had talked about maybe March, April, bringing in the same lady that had done ours before. Any thoughts on that? Shall we put that together on, all of us getting together, and the name was Lynn, I believe, I can't remember what we brought it up, and we were talking about having our strategic plan, a planning session.
Was
for
this
it.
in the November meeting? Because we haven't
This
met in
was
3 months.
No, it was in
October's meeting?
October, it had to be. We met in November, didn't we?
Yeah,
It
that
was just
the November-
December.
That's the
It
one,
was
that's
just
the minutes we
December.
just
Yeah.
passed, but
It was just December and January. We did not meet. So we did have some discussion on having a
yeah,
planning session.
we were tabling the strategic plan until this
Until-
month. And that was, we were supposed to do that in December. No, I'm sorry, in
No.
January.
January?
Yeah, that was the meeting that was canceled. So we still have that to do. And my question is, how does the strategic plan that CELCAB and council voted to approve dovetail with your current action plan? What is one replacing the other?
No. As far as I know, the town's strategic
No,
plan.
but I'm talking about our strategic plan, which the town had already approved.
approved.
That was years ago.
Okay, so, well, that one, we should just, before we change anything, we should review it and see what needs to be updated. or if there's something, if you believe that we should start completely new. So I think it's something that it will help if we have a discussion just on that, maybe meet in a different setting, and kind of work through all this and see what works and, what needs to
A
be.
work session.
Yeah, a work session, a planning session.
I think the conversation that we had in October or November, actually in October, was that we have, the Mound House has a strategic plan. The town is putting together their strategic plan. The idea was that management from the Mound House was going to talk with the town strategic planning group or staff and make sure that all of the things that we had in our plan would be incorporated into theirs. And that, I believe, was the question. We needed to know the status of where that is.
Okay. I still don't have the information on the town's strategic plan. So
Okay,
I
so
can't really.
who is the liaison then between the strategic plans, the two? The town and,
Well, who's our
Right,
liaison now?
Right,
Would it be Jeff?
right,
Yeah.
it's Jeff.
Jeff.
But,
It's his job.
and even if we have something to present, I believe that we should have something more current, so that we can kind of work with the new planning, with the town, and
So then,
and have something
yeah.
ready
So
for
then
them.
not wait for their strategic plan. We can maybe have an informal meeting of some type then and go over ours and see if we have recommendations
right.
to incorporate in it.
well, actually, that could have been today.
It could
Because
have, but
that's
it
on your-
isn't.
That's on your items for discussion. Do you want to go through the old
No,
Mound House strategic plan? No?
no. Not today. We have too many things on the,
Well, it does dovetail about back, we've got a bit of backup because we haven't had meetings, but to address this, I mean,
well, we will put it on for next month, or we can plan a session that we all get together.
Okay.
Because we have,
yeah, we have.
unfortunately,
It's-
we had some things that we could not avoid.
Right.
And, that happens. So
Could we plan a mid-month working session?
I would, let's see, why don't we do sometime in March? And have a mid-month planning session?
If we have a work session where it's sort of around the table and, because we're not making any decisions, we come up with
Right.
what needs to be, and then we present it at the next meeting. And if we did it halfway through March, then we'd be ready to present
do it in-
at the end of, at
Right, and
whenever
maybe,
that next
maybe the
meeting.
town will have their strategic plan together then too. So, do we have a good date? This is the end of February, so, March, we meet
When
on
is our
the,
regular meeting? Our meeting's on March.
Yeah, we could have a regular meeting and then do a workshop after it. So we don't have to come back. Just-
so,
Our regular meeting is March 19th, is that correct, you guys?
our next meeting,
Yeah.
That conflicts with Susan Grace's.
yeah, I was gonna say that's on the same, as well. We could go from there to the Mound House,
Are we the third or the fourth?
fourth.
Well,
Fourth
that would be the
Thursday, fourth
26th.
Thursday.
Oh, then that'd be the 26th.
Yeah,
26th,
26 for the next meeting of March. So we want to do it before, first or second week of March.
How about March the 11th?
Uh,
At what time are you guys thinking?
How about March the 11th?
What time are you thinking on March 11th?
I don't know.
Well, it'll have to
usually,
depend on what else is, if this is available, this room.
if we do this room.
need to-
We wouldn't have to do this room.
We do. This has to be a public notice.
We have
Well, how
to,
about if we did it
probably
like,
need to wait for Ellen too.
yeah, What if we did it at the Mound House, and made it public? I'm just thinking avoiding,
We can do that. And I can ask, to have it recorded.
and just have it advertised
Yeah,
at,
public inviting.
okay. Well, what time would you like, you want to start early,
What
11?
time, what's the date again?
March
March
11th
11th.
is what's suggested.
Would,
At the Mound House. And that, what day is that?
Wednesday.
You're open on Wednesday.
Yes.
How about the 10th?
I just threw that out to get started.
Yeah. How about the 10th, because you wouldn't be open then? That would be a Tuesday?
That's a Tuesday, that's,
Okay.
that
That's
works for
better.
me.
That better?
Yeah,
Let's, Ellen's back.
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ellen. That's yours.
Thank you.
This is good for us to have.
Yeah.
I have one. Yeah, I just printed it out.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, did we do a
So-
time? I'm sorry.
So March 11th, we'll meet at the Mound House.
No, the 10th.
The 10th?
10th
Or the
11th.
10th, I'm
Ellen,
sorry.
we are talking of,
On the MAP program and strategic plan, we have
On
just,
the old strategic plan.
On the
That's-
old,
that's-
yes.
What needs to be
Not-
brought
What
up?
not-
needs-
Not the map program.
right, but we did discuss that while you were gone.
Okay, and you're meeting
So-
on the 9th?
And we are going to meet on the 10th.
10th, rather, on a
The
Tuesday?
10th, on a Tuesday, at what, 10
Want to
o'clock?
bring our lunches and,
Good idea, make it a lunch meeting. 10 o'clock?
okay?
And Karina will advertise that. And we will work on we'll go over our strategic plan and if we have any updating to do. So we'll be able to present it.
So we should plan on it being a multi-hour meeting? like
Yeah,
maybe
yes,
3 or 4
yes,
hours?
yes, probably. We go through the plan.
where will we meet?
At the Mound House?
There is, the Mound House is closed on Tuesday, so we can meet
Okay,
in the
that's-
orientation room?
Mhm, orientation room. Okay.
Is she printing out other things?
What else
The
is
map,
Will we be able
The
to
map.
offer
the-
The map
virtual
action
from the
plan?
the
Mound
action
House?
plan, yes.
Is that what?
Will we be able to offer virtual from the Mound House?
Yeah, we can do Zoom from the Mound
Yes.
House.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Karina is very skilled at setting up Zoom
Yes,
meetings.
yes. So is that agreeable to everyone?
Yes.
And does
And then we
everyone
will-
have a copy of the post-map document, or should I have, I asked her to print those too?
Oh.
Yeah,
We need that?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's been confusing not having all of this here. So,
And Karina, if I'm not mistaken, I see that you have this as a proposal that you're presenting.
Correct.
Because that's not actually the same as an item for discussion. So what you're suggesting is that this was a proposal that was
No, I
coming
don't
before
have- thank you.
CELCAB, and that would be something that we would review and discuss and vote on,
Yeah,
and would be
good.
board action, correct?
Sherry?
To approve this proposal?
thank you.
But that's not what's on the agenda, so I just want to make clear, if there's actually a board action that needs to be taken, it needs to be reflected. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. But I do think that, I mean, keeping in mind that this proposal came out of the MAP program, right? That was
That's
what
correct.
was recommended by the
Oh, good.
reviewer, the guy that came to do the
Scott Neal.
survey of our operations and programs. And these were some of the suggestions which Adam had worked on with Karina.
And actually, well, it was proposed by the MAP peer reviewer. Adam made some suggestions, and Brianna actually spent the time to observe our guests and, you know, how they were moving around the museum, listening to their questions, and pay attention to where things seems to be needed a little bit more explanation. based on that research, she came up with with the idea of moving things around.
So in
With-
other words, you're saying this hasn't been done yet.
Right.
No, it has not been done.
And
Okay.
I was gonna say, and we need to go through it.
Yes.
So, does everyone have the proposal for the rearrangement of the Mount House exhibits in their possession?
Yes, and
Okay.
I have had a chance to review it, and
Okay. So would you like to update us and go through it so we know what's,
Absolutely, we can definitely go.
starting with donations and comment boxes?
Right. Well, so currently the donation box and the comment card are, they stand right after the first exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really, it doesn't give the visitors the chance to, for example, towards the end, if they want to do a donation, you know, it's not at the beginning of their tour, it should be at the end.
comes too
so that-
early.
Right, it's too early, correct.
Yeah.
And
Good idea.
just moving, and the same thing with the
Comments.
comment cards. So that should be towards at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the,
I agree.
yeah.
It's a great idea.
Do we need to
Okay,
discuss,
so,
do we need to discuss this as we go along? And, I mean, do we just agree with this at this point?
No,
Not to vote on, I mean, whether we vote on it or not, or do we go through the whole thing and then go back through?
I think it's important for us to just, not that we have to vote on each item, but just
one,
to
but
vote
just
on the
to go-
proposal. And
Yeah.
for Karina to explain to us why she's changing what she's
Right.
changing and what is she changing. So we
Right.
can just go through that.
so we'll
Okay.
just go through it, and you did the donation boxes. So we'll move on, and then at the end, if we have made comments when you're going through,
Right.
and if you have any things to add at the end,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay, so the donation and the comment boxes, if we move them to the museum store, which is towards, usually at the end of their tour, they will give their visitors a better opportunity to give us their thanks
Okay.
and a comment after they've seen everything.
Okay,
Then we have the standees of the Calusa and the Spanish men that are currently reside in the foyer. Well, that, because it's easy to move, that has been moved upstairs because we believe that it was, when it was at the foyer, it was really out of context. And there's no mention of the Calusa before that point. So in the museum and the appearance in the foyer, the visitor kind of confused about the content of the museum. That's why those were moved upstairs.
Does that eliminate the bench upstairs?
It does not. Well, where they're standing now, yes, but we moved the bench towards on the other side.
In front of the,
By
There
the
were two.
stairs. Yes,
there's still two?
there's still two.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Preservation is Progress panel.
Yes. So the Preservation is Progress informational panel that currently resides in the orientation gallery will be moved to the open wall in the foyer. And that's when you, again, right in front of the stairs, and by going into the orientation gallery. So this panel is a great starting point for visitors as they begin their tour, as it details what the Mound House is, who is operated by, and why the restoration of the house was done. So it does provide context for the house and why it is important to the town of Fort Myers Beach, and gets visitors excited for the history that they're about to learn.
Our timeline panels. Okay.
oh, somebody's missing the preservation in progress, I have two.
Oh, anyone missing a preservation?
Yeah, well, I've got an extra donation one.
Okay,
That's okay, probably just skip.
we'll just, yeah,
Yeah.
put them aside for now. Okay, back to the timeline.
Okay, the timeline panel will be moved to the second floor. The timeline is an excellent panel detailing the history of the site's occupation from the Calusa to the Rancho period and the pioneer occupation. However, it is often forgotten and overlooked in the orientation gallery, which is often blocked off from visitors' views due to events or field trips. So having the timeline be the last thing visitors see will provide an excellent summary of the history that they have just learned about in their walkthrough. So if you see right now it's in the orientation gallery right next to the lift. So it will be on the second floor.
Okay.
So we'll be removing those two panels that you see there.
Which is
That's-
science on the mound and something else.
Will those panels be reused?
Yes,
Okay, they're just moving elsewhere.
correct. So we're changing things around, we're not taking away. As a matter of fact, we'll be incorporating more of the panels like the ones in the Artifact Preservation Center. The ones that were moved from there will actually, we'll have a place for those
Will
as
be on
well.
display, good.
Okay.
So the panel, A Century of Change panel, will be moved to the opposite wall to serve as a starting point for the new exhibit that focuses solely on the residents of the Mound House. Okay, so the timeline that showcases the various appearances of the house over the course of the century will provide a great introduction to the history of the families that occupied the Mound House.
So different room?
This, no, it will be in the
Different
same
wall.
room in the orientation gallery, but it will be.
Where the timeline
first-
was?
Correct. So it's the first panel they see when they come in.
Okay.
Well, this is, yeah. So
Okay. Artifact display.
So this one, this case is currently in the settlers on the shelf room on the second floor, and that will be moved to the current orientation room. Having these historic artifacts that date from 1750 to 1990s will further reflect the information on the surrounding panels about the residents of the Mound House. So having artifacts on both floors will make
Yeah,
visitors
that's good.
understand that both floors are part of the museum, as staff has noticed that many visitors starting the museum start upstairs.
I like
Oh,
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
It does.
So Karina,
Wow.
by having the display case in the orientation room, will there still be sufficient room to have chairs for lectures and?
We will, and we can also have some upstairs where this display case is now. That area can also be used as orientation, yeah.
Well,
For
this-
education or for, or events.
And I could certainly
Upstairs.
see that if Brianna is making a presentation, it would be ideal to have it
for
right
her.
outside her door, so to
Right,
speak.
yeah.
Be good.
And we can always open up and have the rest of the.
Will this be on some kind of roller system so it can be moved to the side, or is it gonna be up against the wall somewhere?
No, it's not gonna be against the wall.
Because
Wait.
it's meant to be a walk
to be a
around,
walk
right?
around.
Yes.
So you've got if we do continue to do the lectures and things like that, this will be in the middle of the room?
Yes. Well, it's not gonna be in the middle of the room. It's
But
on this- on
kind
this-
of,
right,
so
right.
anybody sitting behind that will be like this.
No, the room is large enough so that we can have that area and not have that situation. Maybe we'll
That has
want-
not been
You and
my
I, Becky.
experience.
Right,
Yeah.
we probably won't be able to have 50 people, right?
But that's never been an issue.
Yes, it has.
Right. Oh,
Yes,
has
it has. Before Ian, we were
Yeah.
chairs at the back wall
That's
and all
true.
the way up.
Oh,
Now,
we
what
used
was
to.
never used was that alcove, you know, where the extra chairs were. You know what?
I I see, I know.
You know where it's
By
a
the
little
by the
L,
elevator.
Yeah.
behind where
Behind
the,
the-
Yeah.
behind where the lift is. What I'm wondering is, and this, you'd have to talk to museum people, that, could this be put on some sort of,
This is very
Yeah,
delicate.
yeah,
Right,
but we
I
can't
doubt
have
it,
it
no,
mobile.
right.
Yeah, if it
No,
could be
won't
mobile, it would
able
be
to.
great.
Couldn't be mobile, because
Not the way the display is done.
these are all
Yeah.
delicate.
There's,
the
You've thought the
artifacts
city-
are actually little tiny pieces, and everything else is big and modern? Or is, no, you're right, it's,
No, it won't
It's
be
not,
able
is
to
it?
move it.
But Karina, you've thought through the logistics of placing this in that room where we
Yes.
still maintain as much
We'll-
seating as
we'll
possible?
definitely, yes, we'll definitely maintain room for lecture, for education, yeah.
okay.
And it's quite possible with technology, if we really, really needed an overflow space, we could do it via some type of like a Zoom kind of arrangement or
Right.
something.
Yes. Right,
So you could have people, we could have
Seeing-
people in all the galleries.
correct.
You could have, if you first come, you
And
get
do a
to
Zoom.
see it live, and
Right.
otherwise you can see it remotely, the way we have
Correct.
learned to do a lot of
And
things.
maybe if you limit the number of people, that makes more people sign up fast.
That's true too. Well, yeah, and it could be,
That's
if you
very
want,
true.
yeah, if you want to be able to see the person live, you have to sign up and get a reserved seat.
Right.
And if you're just interested in the event, and maybe you can't come to the event,
Now
it's
it's Zoom.
available via Zoom.
Right.
And we just have a monitor in other places as needed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and we do have doors that open.
Mhm.
we do.
I like it.
For clarity, Karina, could you kind of, on the artifacts display case, could you just kind of more clearly state that the display case will be moved from the second floor to the current orientation room on the first floor?
Yes,
That would be helpful, because that's a major move. And I think
It
it
is.
bears, complete information.
yes.
Okay, so you would do that.
Okay. I think it'll be great for visitors, so,
Yes, absolutely.
okay.
The story will flow.
Yes, yes, exactly. Settlers, okay. Current settlers on the shells, room and flow, okay.
Could you explain that? Current settlers on the shells room flow.
Well, this is the way it is right now.
Settlers on the
This is the-
shelves.
Right.
Are you saying this is
This-
the current flow?
Yes, this is the
Or
current.
the current flow, but not the current settlers? I mean, the way this reads is confusing.
But Settlers on the Shelves is the name of the room.
Right.
Okay, but you see what I'm
The room
saying?
flow,
If
right.
somebody doesn't understand that that's the title of the exhibit,
Correct.
current
Yeah,
settlers on the
it should have
shelves.
been on,
Current,
yeah,
please rephrase that
right.
for clarity.
Okay.
Yeah, being there every
Okay.
week, I knew exactly what it was.
It was wrong. I mean, I've always thought it was,
What, Settlers on the
Mhm,
Shelves is the long
Settlers,
name?
yeah.
yeah. I
Right.
would
Yeah.
try to make
It's
people
kind
go
of a-
backwards, and they didn't like that.
Right. So based on the recommendation of the map reviewer and Brianna's exhibition knowledge, this exhibit flow is out of order and is confusing to visitors. So the two panels that are out of timeline order, beginning with the 40s and 50s occupation of the house, a random welcome panel halfway through the exhibit, and before jumping back to 1750 and then fishing with 1880s, only to jump back to 1750s. So it is recommended that all other panels referring to the pioneer residence be relocated to the current orientation gallery to be a part of the residence exhibit, and the Rancho period exhibit remain in the space. The musical instruments will be added to the Rancho exhibit to give visitors a more interactive experience with the space. So with the relocation of the bifold panels, this opens up another door to the porch, giving more opportunities for visitors to explore the porch. With tour groups entering and exiting the APC often during tours, The space will be more open to accommodate larger groups. And a portable projector screen will be utilized in this room when needed for educational opportunities, allowing for a more localized education area for tours and field trips, and direct access to children's activities on the porch.
That's where I had gotten that idea. You had already put it out there.
Right, yes.
What musical instruments?
Yeah.
Well, we do have a table with all kinds of musical instruments that were used in the during the Rancho period.
Do we know that? Have we found evidence of musical instruments?
I'm sure it's there. Right,
What?
I'll send it to you. I'll send you all the research.
Oh, you.
Oh,
you-
there
you-
are.
bleh. You're talking about during the excavation.
Yeah, did we find any in?
No. We didn't
No.
find any during the excavation. No, during that period of time, during the Rancho period. So I will send you all the research that it was Franklin and Ashley, I believe, that did the research, so that you know why they put those instruments there.
And they get a lot of use by both children and adults.
And adults, that's
It-
correct.
I
It's,
bet.
it's,
Are they sort of on the table in the corner?
yes, so
Okay.
it's maracas and they're castanets
Right.
and a few other instruments that I was not familiar with, that apparently are from that time frame.
From that time period, it might be used in any,
Well-
are they Spanish? Are they Cuban? Are they Calusa? Are they Seminole?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a rancho.
it'd be important, you're
Right.
right, Becky, it's important
Right.
for us to differentiate what
What's
period
what.
these instruments came
Correct.
from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I will send you the research.
Okay, that'd be great, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
So the bifold panels,
So almost all the panels, except the Rancho, would be moved to the orientation room,
moved around, correct.
to the orientation
To
room,
the orientation room.
including, and the, okay. So the bifold panel,
Uh-huh.
plus the two on
So
the other,
this-
on the two on the opposite wall, okay.
So if you see the bifold panels will be placed in the current orientation gallery where the chairs are stored right now.
Uh-huh.
Thus opening another section of the room for an exhibition.
Okay.
So these panels detail with the first pioneer settlers in 1880, beginning the panel timeline for visitors to understand the pioneer occupation on the site. The second panel details more about the Case family acquisition of the property and the building of the 1906 kitchen and the 1909 bungalow renovation. So these panels are out of context in the upstairs exhibit.
And I find that when I'm there now and I'm talking with people, when you're downstairs, you say, well, there's more details upstairs. It would make much more sense to say, and on this wall.
Right.
I agree.
Good.
Would the copy of the homestead somehow be put in this?
It, we have not talked about it yet.
I mean, it was just laid down, but it's interesting and it goes further back than the cases and
Yeah.
who was it who did it? A Gilbert.
Gilbert's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, in fact, I haven't seen it in a while. It just was it was just
It
laminated.
was on a bench.
Laminated on a bench. I think to have
Oh, I
a more
see, I see.
formal
Right, right.
display
Some
of it
sort,
Yeah.
would
yeah.
be, if there's space, if there's room on the wall down there, I think that would be an
Or,
interesting
or
addition.
to put it where people could pick
Right
it up
here.
and really look at it,
And
but
see it.
not on the bench looking like somebody left
Left it
it
there.
with
Right.
their lunch.
Yeah. And the other panel that I was telling you about, the bathroom Jack Denial panel, so it will be put in the current orientation gallery after the bifold panel to continue the residence timeline.
That's wonderful.
Okay, good.
And also then the science on the mound panel will be moved to to where a Century of Changes panel is currently now.
And the Century of Change panel is going to go,
Where
Or the house.
timeline,
oh, okay,
yeah.
so it'll still be downstairs, okay.
right.
Wait a minute, I thought you were gonna move the house, the changes to the house to
The
that timeline wall,
This one. Yes, this one goes to the timeline
timeline
wall.
wall.
Correct.
I would like to see, very quick. Here's the gallery, the orientation gallery. Where stuff's gonna go? On the wall. Do we have that coming up? Sorry.
Well, we're kind of going
in pieces, huh?
wall by wall.
It shows
Yeah.
before and
I'll show
after
you.
on each
Right.
page. In other words, this is where it was, or this is where it currently is, and this is where she's proposing it.
No, I don't. This is upstairs. This is gonna stay downstairs.
Where, in other words, you're
Which-
asking on what wall downstairs would that go?
I mean, I know what this one is, but I don't know what,
It is confusing, you're
Yeah.
right, Becky.
and, we get to it, we haven't gotten to that point yet. It's not, it's just, if you draw it, here, you come in and you're on the left, so you've got the 5 iterations of the house.
Of the house.
And then there's the lift, and then there's the wall against the lift, what goes there? Are we gonna use the screen? And then where's the
Well, we're not gonna use the screen.
The screen's
right
gone.
there, right? Because if we're gonna do that exhibit, moving the panels there, we don't want the screen
Okay,
there.
so we don't have any kind of projection available.
We do, but not there,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay, then we need to figure out where the projection will go.
Have you
And
figured,
currently, we do have one that we can move around. We don't have to have one that's.
Just
that's
stationary?
right, stationed, right.
Well, what are you gonna do with the one that's already there? Isn't that permanently affixed to the,
The panel, yes, does come down, but, the projector is very old, and we need to replace it at some time. So if we're gonna do that, we might have the option of getting one that we can move around.
But if you left it in
what-
place, you can also, you've got a panel on the wall.
Right.
You let it down it means you could not use it for any of the lecture kinds of things that we've
Right,
been
that's-
doing.
But
And-
we do have a portable one. No, same size. Same
Okay.
size.
same type of screen, it's portable.
So you could use it in the orientation
You
room.
can use it in the orientation, or you can use it upstairs, because
Okay.
it opens up,
More flexibility.
Right, because we do have we're
Okay, I mean, but if it's there and it just shows a little bit, why not keep it? If it's still operable, you still need to get a new projector, however that works. But, I mean, if it works, why would you take it down? Even if you get a new one for upstairs?
well, just to have a better flow.
No, changing nothing except leave that thing into place until you need it in that
No, I
place.
mean, we don't have to remove it.
That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
right,
Oh,
just
okay.
leave it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Get a
you
new
still-
one, do all you need to do.
You still show the video, right, for the visitors when
Yeah,
they
what
come in?
about that?
They haven't done that in years.
The video? Yeah, we have an
Well,
orientation
we don't,
video.
we
no video
don't have
in
an
the
orientation video.
underground and not
Oh, no, there's it's
A video,
old.
Orientation.
the old one.
Right.
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
What about that?
Right.
The orientation video right now is very outdated because it shows the underground where it's not anymore. So we will need something different. What we show now, it's another movie. It's from WGCU.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's,
Fort Myers Beach.
Right.
Yeah,
the
Spongebob
history of
Stories.
Fort
it's all on
Myers.
the beach.
It's
22 minutes.
very interesting, and I think it's a great
It's
thing to
good.
have. But,
You're right.
and if you
It's-
think back to, and I love that orientation film,
I
I'm
do
sorry, I
too.
could,
Right.
however, it's redundant.
And
If
long.
you go through the museum, you wouldn't sit down and watch it again. And it's old, it was broken, it hadn't been there for years.
Yeah, and it's long.
Well,
Well, it's really 3 minutes.
Well, I
that's
didn't think
all?
it was long. I
No,
thought
it's-
it was
Maybe we're not
actually
thinking
quite
of the same
good.
one.
This is
No,
the
we're
one
not
with
talking about
park
the same
going
one.
around
Yeah,
and
And the actual excavation, which I thought was hugely.
the excavation
well, I'm
and
thinking of the one with all the people talking. You're not showing that one anymore, where you have like, Roxy and.
Teresa was
Yeah,
talking.
Teresa.
That's 22,
That's-
that's what's being shown now.
That's what I
That's-
thought.
Yeah, and
what's
that's
being
22
shown.
minutes long. It was
Yeah,
done in
and that is long,
2022.
True, yeah,
and
But it's good, people like it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think it would be lovely if we could have an option, we could have the 3-minute version, because some people don't want to spend 22 minutes, some people do. If we could have 3 options, we can show you, I always used to glibly say, 2,000 years of history in 3 minutes.
Right.
And then we could have a medium-sized one, if you want to spend 10 minutes, we can give you that, or I can show you the long one.
But there are so many kinds of things with iPads and computers that you could do it on a kiosk. Those kiosks we had started out and were wonderful, and then 15 minutes later
Yeah.
were outdated. But to have that sort of thing on a very small thing, as opposed to taking up the whole room,
Good point.
which
Good
that
point.
room was sort of useless. But have 2 or 3 or 3. I always thought that they could have updated the kiosk, which they've got a whole lot more information and stuff that they said early on they could put in those kiosks upstairs. That's now the artifact room, but that never happened, and then it became defunct. But all those pictures of the early Mound House were fascinating and could be on a little portable laptop sort of thing screwed to the wall, screwed to a table with a chair so somebody could sit down and watch it.
Right,
Well,
so then
there's
rather having a
options.
formal orientation, because it gets awkward, it's been very, very busy the last few weeks because the weather's been cold, and you'll start the orientation video and then people come in 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then, so I get to the point where I say, okay, if it's more than 5 minutes, watch it at the end or something. But to have customized ones where everybody arriving can go at their own pace.
But that one is Fort Myers Beach, not the Mound House.
Well, it talks
And-
about the Mound House.
Oh, it certainly does.
It does, but
And it's
it
a
doesn't-
wonderful thing.
It doesn't feature it though.
No.
But it's not an orientation to the museum at all.
But remember that we are also working on that app that will give you a tour of the house and give you all the information.
See, that would be
that's
great.
And we're currently working on that.
Who is we? Which?
Right now, there's a FGCU student that we're
Okay.
currently working with, and so she's putting all the information together, and then we have to kind of talk about it, and what will go to the actual tour.
Do you have a completion date on that you're looking at, or?
Because of the amount of hours that that I have with the.
Because this is a
They are
volunteer
volunteer,
community
correct,
involvement
correct.
from a student.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Good.
The other thing
So
we
we have
have
options.
is, sort of, maybe, is what we had down in the exhibit, down in the underground, and the digging and some of that certainly could be incorporated into some real quick orientation, 3-minute, 5-minute
3
thing.
minutes and then so we have options and
Yeah.
that is to come.
Yeah.
I mean, these are to be
Right.
decided
Right.
and brought to us on what your
Correct.
suggestions are. So, okay,
but
can
in the
we,
meantime, we believe that that making these small changes, we definitely will help the visitors kind of understand the timeline a lot
Yeah.
better.
A lot better and
And
flow.
it will
Okay.
definitely flow better.
When I went through this, I thought, this is genius, because
Mm-hmm.
doing it on a regular basis and knowing that you have to tell people, well, more upstairs, more this, more,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
it doesn't, when you see this flow, you go, whoa, that makes sense.
See, now that's the difference between Ellen and me. I looked, I went, come on, you're ruining everything. It's just, and then the more I think about it, I'm sorry, I'm such a
All right.
Well, it's
anti-change.
but
It's always
yes,
been like this.
anti-change, and we need to be a little, I think, flexible. Let's give Karina
Oh,
a
I s-
chance on this.
The
and
other
see what-
thing is, this makes it new again.
Yeah.
If you've been there 3 times over the last 2 or 3 years.
Right, something different.
And now you'll go and you'll see it in a whole different way. It's,
Well, it flows.
it's just, I'm just
Thank you,
floored.
Brianna.
Well,
Yes.
So,
And that's come up in conversations. If you've been there, why would you go back?
Yes.
You need to have things
Right, something
changed on a
fresh.
regular basis.
right, fresh. When are these changes going to be made?
As
Are
soon
made?
as you say yes.
As soon as we say yes. Okay, any more questions on these before we take
Wait.
a vote?
Okay, so we have new APC, the Settlers on the Shelves goes downstairs into the orientation room.
Yep, and
Okay.
is there anything else we skipped? Last residence panel.
You are going to be making some of the changes that we've discussed, right, with regard to the text? You know, like say for better wording, so it's more clear?
Yes.
Okay.
The
The shell
only
room.
thing, let me see this,
The Settlers on the Shell
On
room.
the shell room.
I think, you know, what you can do, if you wanted to be, just say the current flow of the Settlers on the Shells exhibit, and put any of the exhibit titles in quotation
right,
marks.
quotation,
Because
correct.
that, you know, if people are reading this, you're so accustomed to it, Brianna.
Right,
Karina,
right,
So
right. No, no,
that you know.
Right.
But this is for some layperson who's going to look at this and say, you know, we need to recognize the difference between the titles of these exhibitions and the recommended changes. And also, I'd like to have all of these pages numbered so that we have them in the proper alignment. So if you could just number them.
And if we vote in favor of this, does it have to go to anyone else, or are we the deciders?
I think, no, I think this isn't really a
think we're the-
policy.
right,
It's
this
the only
is-
thing having
we're
to
the
do with
deciders.
policy that
Think
would
that
be,
Because we're
a
in charge with
specific-
oversight, that this would be.
Would be our purview? Pardon? This is our purview to make
This is,
this?
yeah.
Yes.
I
We
think
put it
so.
in there, by golly, I think we
Yeah.
ought to be able to
Yeah.
move it around.
Yep, I think so too. So,
okay, so
says-
I'd like to make a motion
Okay.
that we approve
Okay.
the proposal
That's it. Responsibility.
that Karina had presented to CELCAB for the rearrangement of the Mound House exhibits with the stated changes that were made
This is
today.
Becky, I'll second.
okay, any discussion?
I think it's genius.
Okay, I do too. I applaud you for doing it,
Yes, me
Alright.
taking this on.
Again, thank-
All in favor?
Yeah, well,
No,
I will. I was just making my comment. So, all in favor then?
Aye.
Okay, hey, it passes. So, wonderful. Thank you,
Thank you.
Karina.
Passes
very much.
unanimously?
Unanimously?
Yes.
Did
Yes.
everybody? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So, okay.
Including Becky, the no change person.
And
All
Carrie, you
right.
can tell where our love is.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
What
All
happens to
right,
the
so-
parlor?
The what?
Stacy's-
Stays the same.
Okay, we're gonna move on, because we have a lot going
I
on
actually have
here.
a question for Karina with regard to
Barb?
this, now that that's been approved. Who's going to do this? Because that's a tremendous amount of work to move a, and it's not just screwing something to the wall, these are all bricks.
Correct.
So who's doing that?
Actually, we have our maintenance person, which is museum historical maintenance person. And he's the one who's gonna be helping us with this.
Okay, so are you going to be directing this, basically, he's a preparator. If you were a museum and a museum change is being made in terms of exhibits, the preparator is the one that makes those changes. But you have to oversee the correct height.
Correct, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so, and Brianna's already
And-
had that experience,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So, you know, we don't want to have up the here, down, you know, just making sure that it's
Absolutely.
consistently done.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Does the display case fit in the lift?
We'll figure it out.
We'll see, measure.
I believe it was measured, but I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, it got up there.
Yeah, but,
Unless,
As they assembled it up
It
there.
needs-
Oh, they
They
did
assembled
I'm
it.
just
It needs to be
guessing, maybe
assembled, yeah.
they did. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's logistics. You'll figure it out.
yes, yes. So, okay. All right, well, let's move on to we have the underground. And we have an update on the underground.
So, the underground, definitely very happy that Joe
came.
came to give us that idea. And we did started to opening it up, air it out, and start, the cleaning process and see where we're at. We're probably gonna have to bring back the structure engineer, and so we're definitely taking things one step at a time towards the possibility of reopening it.
Oh,
Do you remember there was a gentleman that came to our CELCAB meeting?
I have his name.
Oh, you do have his name, good.
Yeah.
Because would it be
Stucker.
appropriate?
The other thing I was remembering is that
From the other
Teresa
restaurant.
Schober came and said a lot of this stuff was already put into the plan. I don't know if you were there the day she came.
I saw
But
it.
she was saying, this was done, this was done, this was done, this was done. And then all of that got lost with the next museum administration.
Right.
I'm going to
And
say.
just so you know that Teresa's gonna be at the Mountain House on the 6th, and I requested, a little meeting with her so that, kind of have a conversation and see
That's
how
great.
how
Yeah,
it goes.
you're in communication with Teresa.
We just
Yeah,
started that,
but-
yeah. Yeah.
Which is wonderful.
And you have the
Good.
information that you can give to Karina about the gentleman that came to that
Um,
CELCAB meeting?
Yeah, is this,
You
I
could suggest
think
that we
this
all
is the
bring
gentleman,
something to eat
Charlie,
before or
the
after
Charlie
meeting.
Strader?
Yes, that sounds
That
right.
was
I'm so
it,
different.
okay.
And
And from
Yeah.
Bonita Springs, and
Reach out
that's
to
really
Victor
all I
Thompson,
have.
too.
Yeah.
So,
Victor Thompson.
yes, and
too.
Victor
Yes.
Thompson.
Yeah, I think we need to get all the input we can get.
Yep,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
So, we'll start that conversation and
Yeah.
see how that goes. Yeah.
That
okay.
sounds
I think
great.
it's
Okay, that's
just
great.
a step towards that
And I'm glad
direction.
you aired it out and opened it up, and, because
Yeah.
that had to be quite
And I
pungent
think,
down there.
and I think the intent too was that, we all as CELCAB members knew that the underground exhibit would never be what it was before
Right,
Hurricane Ian.
right.
However, just the opportunity for that to be available to the public, to look in,
Exactly.
to have experienced it, not to sit there for
Right.
20 minutes.
Right.
Or not to have events there or lectures there, but to at least get a sense of what that looks like will be invaluable. So
I
to
do
the
too.
extent that we can get it repaired enough so that we can make that available to the tour
You
groups.
bet.
It
You
would
bet.
be
So they can even
very
peek
good.
in,
Yeah.
I mean, that was our big
And,
seller.
right,
And
yes.
if we
then
can
we'll,
give people
we'll figure
interested-
out, as the time comes, what needs to happen, what kind of,
Do you remember,
Presentation
is
on-
anybody there when we went up to Osprey Point and we looked at the, and that's behind glass. And I was envisioning, I get the door, you open the doors, or you glass the doors, or whatever you do as the first step. But what if we built a glass tunnel? We don't have water going over and above like in, the aquariums you can walk through. But if you
Oh,
glassed
that's a great idea.
sides and you could almost go all the way to the back, and you really could get a much. You wouldn't have the glass in. I don't know where the glass is even where it was now, but you could really get the feeling of being inside.
Inside.
The
that the
excavation.
murals
Good
could
idea.
come back or not. However that works. I
Or
don't-
more
are they
murals.
Outdoor murals.
More
I worry
murals.
about that.
Yeah, or more murals if we have
Or-
because that really made
More
it down there.
murals. Yeah.
I mean,
Or even
people
to
that
create
just-
new ones.
or
Create new ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think establishing what the cost of this will be is important, because I think that is an incredible fundraising opportunity.
Right, I agree.
Absolutely, Ellen, you're 100%
Well,
correct.
plus sponsors.
Yes.
Sponsors.
Yes, and big sponsors.
And all kinds of fundraising opportunities
Yes.
and sponsorships.
Yes.
I mean, this,
And if we have a friends event with the idea that the funds
This is-
raised will go
yes.
toward
Huge.
this,
What I
Huge.
and
wanted
this
to
is
do.
the amount that
Yes.
it's gonna take for us to get that open, there's that sense of immediacy, and again, the sense of renewal, our beach is coming back,
Yes.
another,
Right, yes,
you know?
exactly.
and that Charlie,
Yeah.
gentleman
Charlie
that-
Strader.
that came, he thought that we should think really big.
That's what he
because
said,
was
think
suggesting
big.
that engineering companies that operate on an international level might be interested in doing whatever work we need done pro bono for the PR.
Yes, yes,
Exactly,
exactly.
So I'll give you his name, but I mean, and this is something, a fundraiser, that can go countywide.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Multiple
really
fundraisers.
multiple.
Good idea.
And just with the idea of it's for the underground, people love that thing.
You know, we can just look at the before and after and what's proposed to get it back. I mean,
Right,
that's,
right,
you know, the
right.
visuals
Don't
make
worry.
all the difference.
Exactly.
You're too
So-
tiny anyway.
Okay, so I think we're in agreement on that. You'll keep us posted.
Absolutely.
And everybody's excited.
And everybody's excited. Thank you. Thank you for
I'm just
opening that
excited
up.
about the interest. And that it's moving.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
And I would say, having been there so much recently, it comes up every single week.
It does, it does.
Every single week.
Of course, and people say where I live is that, you know.
Exactly.
Are you ever gonna get it open? Because that's what we always came to see.
Right,
you know?
exactly. They
We
brought
always
people to
took
see it.
friends. We always,
Exactly,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then so I think this is great, just so we have a picture
Some
of
hope.
it.
We have
We
hope.
we have hope, we have hope, and if we work
Yes.
toward that goal, I mean, that makes, and that just kind of brings me back to my point where if we start opening that up, that brings in resources, that brings in money.
And it brings
And-
back the community.
In the community.
Exactly.
And it would just make such a difference. So,
I agree.
so keep us posted. We're willing to do anything you want. We can do a soft shoe dance or something for the entertainment. Okay, let's
We
move
won't do a
on.
dance, and then they can.
Commemorative elements discussion. And that's been a subject that we have been working on forever and ever, is how do we, when we have donations and in people's names, how do we commemorate them? And I am open to suggestions. We have just in the one following the commemorative elements, we have the Loop Road, which is also been paid for by donations. And that is a sign that's gonna go on the Loop Road. So we'll address that a little bit, but I'm just saying that some have been designated already.
Wasn't the
Your,
the
yes,
road sign voted on by town council?
yes,
So
Yes.
that's just an
yes,
implementation
it's,
issue?
yep, yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was a done deal, and it was done by our former mayor, and it was brought to us first at CELCAB. And then we finally, I don't think all of us were in favor of it, but anyway, it did pass, and then it went on to council, and they agreed. So it's a done deal. So,
I think the subject of gifts and donations or commemorations or memorials was part of a larger conversation that the town itself
Yes.
was having with forming a policy. So I'm interested, Karina, if you have any information about the gifts and donations policy that the town is working on that would cover Mound House issues.
Right. I don't have an update on that, as far as what the town is working on.
So you're saying there's been no decision yet, but they're working on it?
Correct.
Okay, may I suggest that we hold off and table that discussion? Because we can't preempt what the town is going to do anyway.
Right.
So
Right.
let's, if there's any memorial or commemoration or naming opportunities or sponsors that are gonna come in and give us $500,000 for X, we need to be compliant with the town policy. So I think it's premature for us to have this on the agenda.
Well, and if we were thinking about going out for big sponsors, like, we want you to build a glass tunnel into the underground, or we want you to do this, and, you know, big pro bono stuff, that really has to be okayed by the town, and so tell them to get on the stick.
yeah, exactly.
And,
I just want to make a couple of comments about, because a lot of this came up because I had proposed, I brought up again about finding an appropriate bench for my husband. But I just want it to be clear that that was really not my idea originally. It was a couple of members at the Mound House that mentioned it to me. And I, thought it was very kind, very sensitive. And I was all out for, dedicating any income or whatever, any donations that were made as a memorial to him. But it was really not my idea, so it wasn't trying to go around digging on the mound or putting things where, you know, to preclude other people, because my point at this point, I've lived here long enough to have some hindsight, and that is there have been many, many people involved in many ways over the years. And, you know, that's, after all, that's why we're all here. Had it not been for their dedication and hard work. So they deserve as well. I mean, Bill Case, I mean, there's so many, you could just go down the list.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about it, and somebody brought up a tree, you know, and I'm not trying to jump ahead or whatever, but I just want to throw this out for thought. Somebody brought up a tree at the last meeting, and I think that I was watching the meeting I didn't make the meeting in November, but I was watching. And I think that's a wonderful idea, because a tree is a sign of life, and it grows. And it keeps growing, and it adds limbs and twigs and leaves and all of the things that would be. So I just think that's, I've thought a lot about that, and I think it would be a wonderful idea to think about.
You're talking about an actual tree that's planted in the ground?
No. I think it was Jeff or somebody said
But there
that.
already is one for the town.
For the town, but
Yeah,
not for the Mound House.
But it kind of came up in a meeting that this might be an idea for us,
For
the Mound House.
All right, but I think the issue there is that our wall space is dedicated to education and interpretation.
Oh, I didn't mean necessarily to go in the Mound House, and I wasn't trying to make any decisions about anything.
Right, no, I
said-
just wanna know what your
I like the
idea is.
imagery, I like the town being portrayed with the growth of a tree. And
The town.
It could be a sculpture, so to speak.
well,
I mean, but it could be a sculptural kind of thing outdoors, and it could have the ability to have leaves added to it.
Well,
so
that's
that
true, it
if
could.
you wanted to have memorial as a person,
I just like the idea of a tree, and I thought it was just worth mentioning, and I just wanted to make it clear that the bench was not really my idea. And it sounds like, because there isn't that much space, and if you put one bench for one person, and I think he did
Pretty soon
something
there'll be
very
50.
important. And he enjoyed it as much as anything. He just really enjoyed doing that and giving it away. And I just, you know, and I appreciate that, but I think there are so many others that have contributed in so many other ways. So I just kind of like the idea of the tree, you know, whether it's a meadow tree or a whatever, or wherever it is.
I kind of
we
like the
certainly have
idea
room.
of dedicating a tree that's a living tree. I mean, the whole thing about our cultural and environmental site and the fact that it's an archaeological site is about the walk and the gardens and the botanicals and nature, and that it could be honored too. I mean, planting a tree
Exactly.
is never a bad idea.
Well,
And, you know, we need to
You have to be
landscape.
careful where you plant it
Well,
and
no,
what
this
you
is all
plant
in
and all
keeping
those
with
things.
our overall, and we're
Yeah,
gonna talk
yeah.
about that
Right,
too,
I was
because the
gonna say with our
the
landscape.
enhancement. But I think David Sachs, who was our landscape architect, has already designated, you know, the native plants and the native trees. And of course, you know, we know we're gonna have additional hurricanes and additional storms and storm surges. So, you know, we have to bear in mind that, you know, not everything that's planted will be making
Right,
it either. But that's the way life is too. I mean, if you want to talk about that metaphorically. But again, if a tree is down and then, you know, another tree needs to, how many mango trees did
gonna
we
say
lose
we-
in the hurricane?
Yeah, we lost some.
Like, we lost a lot of trees.
Right.
So I would love to have I would love to donate a tree, you know, and have it as a way to commemorate an individual.
I like that idea.
good idea, Carolyn.
You know, a sculpture is.
Then what
Well,
happens
art
when the
sculpture.
tree dies or
Well,
falls
I don't
over?
know,
I mean,
the
you
way-
have to think about that too. Then do we
that's
just start
just
over
that,
again
yeah,
and
that's
that
just
person's memorial goes
Yeah.
out to sea?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just Mother Nature.
It's Mother Nature, none of us are here
Exactly,
permanently
exactly.
either.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So, okay, any more discussion on that? I think that's a very excellent idea. And I don't see why, do we need to wait on that if anybody wants to act on it and put in a tree?
Well, no, that has to
can't
be
do
part
that.
of the landscape plan, and that also has to
That's
be.
right, we would have to go with this, that's,
that-
yeah.
Yeah. I
And
think
see what
that-
we would
that's
need and
the-
what salt water tolerant, okay. All right, well, let's move on then, that's great, good discussion. The Loop Road sign,
I found the original designs, and I already reached out to the graphic designer, and found out who the company that actually makes those signs, so that we keep the same.
You're
So,
talking about the botanical signs that we were
Yes.
trying to.
Yes,
Okay,
right,
and
the
Megan
map.
Kissinger is the artist.
Uh-huh.
And did you
And-
try and contact her?
No,
Okay.
she's the one who made the graphics,
Yes.
but not the design of the actual, the design with Illustrator.
Yeah, well, she is the artist, and she did all of the botanical drawings
Right.
for the
Right.
signs.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you also have the graphic firm that fabricated the signs.
Correct.
Okay.
So I contacted Fossil, I believe it's called, and they're ready for me to send. The only issue is that, you know, I have to change the logo because he had the old logo, but all the colors and the fonts are the same.
So wait a minute, how did we change the logo?
Way
The-
back.
Right, remember it used to, it had the green,
Yeah.
and now we had the teal and the blue and the teal.
So in other words, the original artwork for the logo did not change, only the colors.
Only the colors.
Okay,
Good,
yeah, I
that's
remember
good.
we had to do that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
keeping with,
The town.
the
Right,
right,
town's
exactly.
logo.
Yeah.
Which,
Do-
by the way, I still have issues with, but that's me. Why didn't the town of Fort Myers Beach comply with our color scheme for the Mount House?
I'm with you.
That's true, I
Right.
agree.
You know?
Karina, do you have any pictures or any renditions of what this loop sign would look like?
I did, but I don't think it made it to the,
Didn't make,
to where I send it to you. So I'll make sure to send
Like
it.
the-
Yeah, because it's this
'Cause I
exactly
know
the
you
same
had it all
thing.
together.
Yeah. So it's exactly the same thing that we have, same size, but I'll send it to you
Okay.
before I send it out.
okay.
Good, yeah, we can maybe
Yeah.
bring that as an agenda item for
Yeah,
next
like
month's
to see,
meeting.
right.
So that we
So we
can
can all
vote
see
on
it,
getting that
right.
loop, so that we
Exactly.
can call Ray.
And say it's done. That'll make him happy. Okay, then we'll just, Mount House landscape enhancement. Just what we've been talking about.
Let me just
so-
bring something, Scientific Garden was not there. It's down here and here. Scientific and medicinal.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's down there.
I see.
And we need to
It
go
was very
through
worth-
this. That map, that
The
action
map that
plan.
we'll,
So that's what we need to go
we
through.
need to do.
Here-
See, this
This
not
was,
correct.
there was
It should
sugar
have
cane, there
been
was
the
sugar cane
collection
up there.
I know it
management
should've been.
policy.
Coconut, a
Yeah, it
coconut
was.
palm kind of.
Please screw that.
Here under urban, here under urban.
No, no, in this circle, that says Scientific
So we
Garden.
had 4 gardens?
I had her
No,
ask her.
there-
copy
that-
this
this was
so
not
that we
named.
could just identify the spaces.
The gumbo
where the
limbo was
previous
right down at
ones
the end
were,
of the path.
And it gives a
And
list.
it just
of
wasn't named, there was,
plantings, just
what,
as
there
a-
was sugar
something
cane
to
there,
look
which
at.
is sort of
I
early,
mean, I don't think
you know,
many of
Florida.
them
Let's
might
not
be
have
to-
dual discussions here, let's,
And there used to be a papaya tree.
Right. Well, the only concern that we have right now is, first, we will have to plant something very, you know, the trees are very small. They have to be very small.
now what are you referring to, so everyone can
No,
see?
no, in general, in general.
Can you move either front or back so I can see
Absolutely,
Karina? Thank you.
absolutely.
I'm always having to do
No
this,
problem.
and you
I'm always
move
in
around.
I know,
all
I
the time.
do.
You need to put her out front.
Appreciate you
Thank
saying it.
So, and the other thing is the irrigation. It was, we need to repair that before any plantings
Yeah,
are done around the area. So.
We have irrigation?
We do. And so actually, I'm getting some quotes as right now to see if, you know, how much that is to repair that irrigation system.
So, okay, so we're going after a new plan, we're not gonna use the old plan.
Okay,
Why
so
are
we've
we
got-
not-
Why are we?
Why are
No,
we-
I'm not saying, I just
why are we
talked about the
changing?
irrigation. I just talked about the
No,
irrigation
no, no.
system.
But I'm reading this. The third element with the restoration plan, a landscape
Oh, this is,
architecture.
Who wrote this?
well, just, this is from, the.
Hold it one at a time.
This is from the book that Pat wrote.
Okay,
And the reason I asked Karina, we had been discussing some of this, and Ellen had mentioned that the garden club had some good suggestions. And I thought it might be nice to know where the gardens were and what was previously there. Doesn't mean that this is what you're gonna replant or anything, just for grins and giggles, you know?
Just an idea.
I thought it might be interesting to look at. So I asked her, and very nice job, thank you.
sorry. But when you're saying early acero plantings, was that where all of the fruit trees were and the
Pineapple
the
and
pineapples?
we had
Is
that.
that
and the
what-
banana trees,
That's what early
yes.
acero plantings
And there was
meant?
citrus.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always called, when I give you tours, I always call it the kitchen garden.
But I
Yeah.
never heard of a scientific garden.
Oh, yeah, medicinal and scientific.
But it was
Now,
down,
there
it
was
was down
stuff
here.
there, there is still one tree left, and that is the moringa tree.
Right.
Moringa.
And then there used to be, well,
Was
we
like
also
an
talked about the
annatto and-
physic nut tree, which is related to the jatropha. We don't grow them here, but it's used for oil. And then there was
Was
the
there annatto tree?
The
annatto
annatto and then the K-pop.
And the
and
K-pop.
K-pop, which didn't do real well.
The K-pop,
And then
There were some.
allspice,
Yes.
Allspice, right.
and there might have been something else.
Those are the ones I remember. Couldn't
And I
put
think
their-
the problem is,
Did we ever document that garden tour? Was there ever a document?
I doubt it. I
a
don't know.
document?
Yeah, because I remember learning all of this,
I
but I
used to
remember
do
learning
it.
it by, right, but I
Yeah,
learned
you
it,
guys used to do it.
yeah, and I did too, but,
Yeah.
and I learned it by shadowing Seal
Yeah,
for
yeah,
months.
yeah.
And then remembering all the names, but I don't know that, it wasn't a script, but, I mean, it was sort of a,
The allspice tree is referred to here in, right here.
okay. So well, I think if we,
Okay, so
if we all
this
read
is the
this.
original. This is great
This is
that
original.
Pat documented
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
this. I mean, this is so invaluable.
Yep.
This is his real contribution in that book,
Oh, and-
that we can use this as our reference, and it's so beautifully done,
Yeah,
really.
I thought it might be
It
good to
really-
just refresh.
Hugely informative. That's
and
awesome.
I wouldn't have known where the gardens were.
I
Yeah.
use the book
Well,
every
and-
week when I
Dan.
give people tours. And I say, it's available on the museum store.
So are we doing where are we as to landscaping?
Yeah,
We are
working-
recreating
You sell
the
any?
original landscape
Yes.
plan. Is that right?
That's correct.
Well, let's
Okay.
just
But
put that
it
in
just-
there. We're
yeah.
recreating
I haven't
the
looked at
original landscape plan. We're not
Maybe
making
1
up a
to
new
10.
Right.
plan.
Probably.
We're
And
not creating, this says creating, but this is the original.
but
That was
it's,
from the
See,
book,
that's
right,
where,
already.
that's where the
Yeah, gotcha,
miscommunication came from. This is Pat's input, this is his text as it related to the original landscape plan. So
From the, yeah, and also he, let's see, Parks White, is it?
Park Park
Lewis.
Lewis, Park
Lewis.
Lewis, yeah, but see, it's in the acknowledgements, yeah, that's the name.
Park
Actually
Lewis.
met him and they went through everything,
Yeah.
because I remember the morning he went to meet him to do that.
Okay.
It is perfect.
So, yeah,
So do we have a plan for anything starting?
Right
Or-
now, we're starting on the fixing the irrigation system.
Okay.
And, you know,
Getting quotes.
back to the
Okay.
scientific, medicinal, and maybe cultural is a much better word for it. You look at, none of those plants, none of those trees, except the moringa, did well where they were put.
Right.
And that certainly has to be looked at before we put a bunch of trees in that are gonna get
I was just
washed
gonna
out.
say,
And are there other
exactly.
places, you know, I don't, well, you remember way back, Russ?
Mm-hmm.
And he would go, now this tree over here,
This is Russ Gardner.
that was the Walgreens tree. And this tree over here was the CVS tree. And they would, oh, there used to be,
It was colorful.
yeah. And that, oh, there was that berry thing, and then there were a bunch of other things there.
There were beauty
Yeah,
berries.
Pat's got them all documented here.
the beauty berry.
Yeah,
the
beauty berry.
berries were
Yeah,
there.
which is a native
Yeah.
Indigo, the white indigo berry, and then there was something else, apple?
pond apple.
No,
It's not
Oh,
the
the,
pond
yeah,
apple.
I
it
know
was
it's
something else, and you had to look really, really hard, and they were this big, and they were shadowed by the big leaves. It was down across the drive, you go down on the drive and it was on the top. If you fell off the driveway right there, you'd be in the bay.
Oh.
It was,
Oh,
and I
okay.
can't remember the name of it. Allspice.
The 7-year
But
apple?
these are,
Sure, yeah. Becky, the 7-year apple?
Yes. Good for you.
okay.
Because they grow on the beach. I see 7-year apple. Well, I actually
So
haven't
we
seen
would
any
want
supposed
things
to be in
that,
it. Yeah.
that are
That-
sustainable
yeah.
and would be,
So was David Sachs with this law, this
Yeah.
landscape architecture? Wasn't David Sachs?
David Sachs was he was something.
He was our
Initially-
landscape architect for the Mount House, the
well,
landscape.
David Sachs, yeah, I mean, they came and they helped us with the logo, with everything.
Exactly,
really,
so I
really.
don't get this firm, that
And the firm went belly up.
this was the original and then,
It was
and then
called,
David Sachs.
it was called Synergy.
Oh, no, that was the museum exhibit.
That was the museum exhibit.
That was
people.
all of the
Oh, and he
interpretive
wasn't-
signage.
Okay.
All the panels. But
This is landscape only.
It was
David
landscape.
Sachs was in the
That's what I
county or
thought.
something like
Was
that. He
he?
was certainly,
Okay.
but was he part of supervising or was he picking the plans? And is it
So
like the
that's what-
difference between the conceptual drawing, or, that we did, the plan for Newton, and what has to be now engineered and measured down to the inch and a half and that kind of stuff?
So when you
So-
talk with the landscape
yeah.
company, who are you using?
Landscape company, all native.
Oh, yes,
native?
okay, good,
Okay.
all native.
Okay,
And they already have a game plan as to where the plants need to go.
No
Yeah.
game plan yet until we figure out the irrigation system and
Okay, so,
Okay.
and when was the irrigation system first put in? Originally, when all of these were first planted?
It,
I
I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I think around 2017 or a little before that.
Because I thought there wasn't any irrigation.
That's what I thought. I thought that we were not allowed to even put irrigation. We wanted it to just be self-sustaining, I thought,
It
as
has
part
to
of the
be.
education
If
program.
it's self-sustaining,
As
then
drought
there is,
tolerant.
then most of the trees are not gonna survive.
right,
Yeah,
Especially in these drought conditions.
right.
yeah,
So is the irrigation over the entire property?
around, not.
Oh,
not
just
everywhere.
around?
I don't think they do the lawn.
Okay,
And they
so
don't
it's-
spray
okay,
the
so it's
lawn
the
for
plantings,
weeds.
not the
Okay, but
mound. so
yeah,
it's the
right,
perimeter.
Right.
So it would cover the plantings.
Okay.
Okay, well, keep us informed on that, please. And also Barbara, I know you'd like to go back to the map. You might as well get, as long as we're
This
going
post-
over today, let's,
Well, and we didn't go over this originally, but
Right.
this is the action plan. And I guess my question for Karina is how is this different from, I mean, this is obviously a more current plan, which we desperately need, but does this take the place of a strategic plan, is my question. And I looked at all of the people here responsible, and obviously you're taking the load here, Karina, but I don't see Jet's name on here at all. And I don't see what part we play in this action plan. Or is this only to relate to Mount House staff?
This relates to Mount House.
Just Mount House,
Yeah.
that this is, in other words, this is not our job? This is not the town's job necessarily? This is only for in-house action plan from staff, from paid staff?
Yes.
Not
there
the
was,
volunteers,
let
not
me
from
see,
friends?
The only thing that was, that you were supposed to, accept was the collection management policy. Those are, that was
And
something
that's
that needed to be accepted by
approved.
council, yeah.
and that's done.
By
Well,
us.
almost done, yeah.
Well, like, say, for example, the emergency preparedness plan, that is obviously, was in place, and that was obviously a staff responsibility.
But, I mean, you've got timeline immediate. What does immediate mean? Is that 2026, 2028?
Right, this is something that was already done.
By
The
whom?
timeline by Adam.
Okay. So this was Adam's plan?
It was, yes.
Okay, this is the first time we'd seen it.
Oh, okay.
Am I right? This has never been presented, to my knowledge.
I have no
No,
recollection.
I've never, yeah.
Some say immediate, some say intermediate. Does that mean they're working on it?
Something, yeah,
Okay.
that's immediately something that could have been done right away.
It should say ongoing, right? 'Cause
Yes.
Intermediate seems that that's like
I thought it was a typo.
coming and going.
It's
Yeah.
the sort of typo I could do.
Yeah. It's either, a timeline is actually putting a time on it.
Adam did it.
Yeah, well, there you are.
Blame it on Adam?
Sure.
So what do we want to do with it? Do we want to go over it? And,
It's something we should read, but
Yeah.
basically.
Well, I guess the question is, I mean, this is a document that can be easily accessed by staff, volunteers, and
Yeah,
CELCAB,
yeah.
and council members, and community members to review the acceptance or rejection of professional recommendations. So, is it our charge to tell staff what to do and when to do it? No.
no?
It's not.
CELCAB's on here a few places. Approve the emergency management plan. I thought
No.
we'd done.
Right, that was done.
That was done.
Here it is, page 3. Clarification on sunshine on CELCAB.
Write and approve a code of ethics.
So then, so none of these need to be accepted by council?
Only the collections management policy.
Okay, so that's what this is,
Which isn't on here.
Yes, it is.
well,
Oh, in
The
other words,
separate.
it's not, okay, it's not
Yeah,
filled out,
yeah,
okay, right.
yeah.
Rewrite and approve.
yeah.
I think, rather than accepted, say approved, I think. Or if this is only relating to that one policy, it just should say policy approved by council.
But it
And
hasn't
I'll
been yet.
Not yet. I'll rewrite this so that it's
Okay.
relates better to.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'd be
it just
great.
makes it a little, well, at least we have an idea.
Yeah,
Okay, so this really isn't anything that's really applicable to CELCAB,
right.
excepting, seeing the part we play, which of course is minimal, naturally.
I would assume
At
that,
least you know where we are and what we're doing.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's an update.
the mission and vision is museum manager and CELCAB. Strategic plan quarterly review is CELCAB. I assume the ethics means CELCAB. To include CELCAB.
it's probably.
Where is that?
Minimal is,
Two, right in the middle. There's 4 things that have CELCAB on there.
Oh, yeah, right, right, exactly.
yeah,
I think
manager.
rather than say right, I think we should say develop.
Same thing. I mean, it's not, but I
Yeah,
get what
know,
you're saying.
but I'm just
But-
saying, just gotta, I know.
And maybe
Adam-
there is one for staff. I figured that the ethics thing was the whole deal with the Friends Board.
Oh, yeah, that was basically,
But we solved that, that's a
we
huge
saw,
step.
oh, yeah.
And maybe that took care of that whole
Yeah.
thing.
That took care of that, yep. That was, yeah, then we were to sign. It was a different time.
Yep,
So, all right.
exactly, it was a different
It was a
time.
different time. Okay, if I can find my agenda here and all this stuff. Okay, I think, is there anything else that we need for discussion before we start going to members?
Anything you need.
No, I think that,
I think we pretty much, and then
Karina-
Barbara's gonna take care of our town
Karina will
council.
tell me when this will come before council
Council,
for the approval
excellent.
of the collections management
Right,
perfect.
policy, and that, I'll attend that meeting
Correct.
to urge their approval, and maybe just to give a general update as to
Good.
what's happening.
Yeah, great,
Yeah.
appreciate that.
but I need to know the date.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, all right, okay, excellent. We will move on to members' items and reports. Carolyn, start with you.
I have nothing at this point because I've already shared, but I want to tell you, I think this has been a very good meeting, and I think we have laid some groundwork to move forward on a number of things, and glad to be part of it.
Okay, thank you. And I will second everything Carolyn had to say, and I'm bringing this up because I'm not sure where else to bring it up. I had wound up being the recipient of some documents that Seal had put together for the plays that she used to perform at the Mound House. And I thought it was important to get that to the Mound House, so I presented it as a gift, so my name winds up on it. But I said it on behalf of the Friends of the Mound House. Now the question is, now I have this document from the Mound House saying we had gifted it, so I need to know where this should reside. It shouldn't reside with me, it should reside in some collection of official documents.
Well, I know that in order for us to receive a gift, there are some forms that you need to fill out. So we definitely need to talk to Brianna. She will give you all the documentation.
This is, Brianna gave me this, so this is basically our receipt.
Oh, okay.
So I need to know who should keep this receipt. So maybe it should be,
If it's from the Friends.
is it from the Friends or is it from CELCAB? It was all the same people. It was Seal.
The seal, we did that
Well,
as,
Seal was
the
serving
play
on those,
was,
so.
Yeah. So should this be in the archives of the Friends?
Friends.
Or does CELCAB have archives and it should be in the CELCAB archives?
I would assume Brianna has something that shows that this was given to the.
Right, yeah, this is the
Yeah.
receipt.
This is
she-
for us.
This is our
And the
receipt.
receipt is made out too.
right.
The fr-
And-
Well, she put my name on it, so then I added Friends of the Mound House. But should it really be,
To the
Should be
Friends.
Friends of the Mountain.
It should be Friends of the Mountain,
Okay,
because we
so
were
I'll-
the ones that did the play.
okay, so I will go back with Brianna and we will do a new version of this that says the donor name
Great.
is Friends of the
Great,
Mound
great.
House. Okay,
Also, the Friends needs to make a big presentation to council about the money that it raised, you know, which was in last month, November's minutes. That's substantial. Was it $25,500 or something of that kind, which was reported at our last meeting? And is that going to be an actual presentation to council?
well, that money was actually, well, I'm not sure about the number, 25,000.
Well, I totaled it up. It was at the minutes from last month that we just approved. That, where are the minutes? Here we go. I added up all of the report. So the Friends of the Mound House approved, blah, blah, blah. So totaling all of that up, I totaled up $25,000. And so was that all done, when was that, was it not presented to council? When we had our meeting in.
In November.
In November, you, who gave this report of the Friends? Was it you, Ellen? It must have been you.
If it was financial, it would have been Nancy. Nancy
But
Smith is.
Nancy didn't
she
give a separate
didn't.
presentation, because then it would have stated that Nancy gave it. So, Karina, can you help us out here? There seems to be some confusion. I just want to go back to November's meeting minutes, and it says the Friends of the Mound House approved, blah, 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 all of the above. Now, I asked Karina about this, and she said, well, yes, that was a gift given from the Friends to the town. And I said, well, was there a presentation? And I said, it looks to me like it was totaling $25,200. And if so, when was that gift given? And was there an actual public presentation?
There was, I can tell you right now, there was not public presentation yet. I know that Jeff is working on getting a blue sheet, which is in order to present it to council. So he's
I
working
know,
on
I'm
that.
looking
So
for mine
was
too. I
was
can't.
the physical
Oh, we didn't have
transfer of
copies
those
of all
funds
of them,
actually
did we?
made to town
That's
budget?
why.
Yes.
Okay, so Friends did give all of that money already to the town as a gift. Was it done in compartmentalized donations, or was it all done together?
All together.
All together?
Oh, okay, so we wrote, the Friends presented a check.
Right, right.
Oh, wait,
Right.
oh, yeah, now it's coming, yeah.
Okay.
So the Friends voted on it at a Friends board meeting and presented a check to Karina. And it was all itemized as various
What
things
the
we
mon-
were funding.
what you were funding, but the actual, that, that's a big deal. Friends should get credit for that.
Yeah.
There should be a big check and saying, the Friends donated this money, and then, gosh, this is going to the Roundhouse. I mean,
And-
that's a big thing.
And we have done that in the past. I remember
Right.
Jim Steele and I making a
Yes.
presentation and, yeah,
Exactly, so why aren't we doing that again?
we missed that opportunity, but I guess there's no,
I
there's
don't
no,
No,
think
we're
it's a
still,
mis-
we're still, we can still do it.
I think we should do it.
yeah, well, not
And-
me. I mean, it should be Beverly and Nancy.
Well, that's where.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think we don't want to drop that ball, is my point.
Okay.
We want to recognize the contributions that Friends have made on behalf of the Mound House and the town, and for them to be recognized and thanked for it publicly by council. That's what needs to happen.
I second that, and I also think we should send out a press release on that. I mean, we've been getting a lot of coverage on the island from different TV stations, and I really feel like you guys should send out a press release. I'll be happy to do it.
Oh, well, there
That'd
you
be
go.
great.
Wonderful, Carrie.
So, but I think that this needs to get turned over to Beverly and Nancy, because they're
Agreed.
the board, not me.
Yes, no.
But I will take charge of
So maybe what needs
communicating
to
that.
happen, if things like this happens, that the representative from Friends will come to a CELCAB meeting and give us the report, so you're not in a tough spot.
Right.
Good point.
Let's do that. Let's
Yeah.
make that happen.
We used
So
to
there's
do
gotta
that.
be better
didn't-
communication
didn't we?
between-
I think we used to do that.
Yes, because before I was on CELCAB,
Yeah,
I would
you would
come
come
and,
to- you
I
would
would
come and
share
give us some-
at least
right.
once, it wasn't
Yeah.
all the time, but it was like.
Right, but once in a while, like once
Yeah.
a quarter or something like that.
Yes.
So I think that'd be a good policy to start.
Yeah, and again, we got by without doing that because we all,
We're here.
we were here, we knew, yeah.
Yeah, we're confusing times.
Well, we don't want to get you caught in the middle, Ellen, that's the important thing. So it's good that we have
Right.
a Friends representative that's.
Well,
Yes,
I will
well-
actually, yeah, I will communicate, so they've added additional board members that are really not familiar with the Mound House, but the three that know
okay.
are Beverly Milligan and Nancy Smith and Mike Hughes. So
Okay.
that's the triumvirate that I need to
Yeah,
put on to
okay.
that, because they were,
There is a number of us who are members of the
Right, that will-
Friends that need to also be in the loop, because I get nothing.
Yeah, I didn't get anything on the meeting.
There haven't been
The
meetings.
Friends meetings.
Just board
No.
meetings.
yeah, there haven't been, well, there is
Yeah.
going to be an annual meeting that I think is now, is it the 13th?
Yes.
Of,
March,
Oh.
at 9:30.
When would I know that?
I think when it
And
gets
the
sent out.
notices are gonna be out tomorrow because it's exactly the same day.
So what is it, March
Okay.
13th?
An annual meeting of.
Yes, of the
For
Friends.
Of the
Friends.
Friends.
And again, this is not me, this is,
Yeah.
I'm just reporting.
Yeah.
But we
So I
had,
was
we,
wondering, I was gonna ask about Mound House meetings, because I had not heard anything either.
There haven't
Did
been
you say
any.
13th or 14th?
there haven't been any of the Friends, okay.
Or they're
That's,
still trying to get going.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, my report. I just want to thank you all for bearing with me. I have been very ill, and then also I did have, a passing of my mother and several things I've had to, just take care of all the details, so I've been a little out of the loop, so bear with me. I also want to mention that the Friends had a play that they put on at Diamond Head, and I don't know how many of you went to it, but it was very enjoyable. There were a few little hiccups with it, but I think it's something that if we play on it, because people were very interested in it. It was a play and a dinner.
A murder
And
mystery.
at Diamond Head.
Who was invited?
Well, you bought tickets.
Yeah, you bought
It
tickets.
was a ticket affair.
Oh, it
You
was,
were there.
The murder
oh, you
mystery
mean
dinner.
the
murder mystery.
fundraiser?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
the murder
fun-
mystery.
The
Yes,
the
yeah.
dinner, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, of course, oh, yeah.
And I think we
That was
could,
great fun.
yeah, improve upon it a little bit. I mean, maybe where you had the dinner first. And then we had those maybe break for dessert or something, but it was fun. And I think people enjoyed it and,
I was
commend you.
going.
Yeah. Outside of that, Barbara?
I have nothing to report.
You have
thank
nothing? Nope. Vicki?
I mostly have nothing to report except to say that the bench thing was something that the Friends came up with years and years ago as a possible fundraiser. And Annis got going, and then the benches that we liked didn't work, and then how many could we have, and all of those questions. And, you know, I don't know how that all got dumped on you, but it wasn't you at all.
I didn't feel like it was dumped
Good.
on me. I just, when I brought it up, expecting to carry forth and get my act together, then there was, you know, other reasons why it should not happen, so.
Yeah, and
And I didn't know about any of that, so.
Oh,
you know.
it's been
We're
going
all
on
good.
for.
we have had a long
And
conversation.
the town also did benches along the,
Yeah.
sort of advertising benches along the street, and you could, or
Or
you
could
had
put-
one.
I had one.
You had one.
You could buy one for $6.50 and then
Yes.
have whatever a person's name on it
Sure.
with an inscription.
Yeah.
Did they
But we
replace
lost
those?
them. I remember Jim Adderholt saying that they
Yes.
planned on them, and they were down by the Bay, what is it, Bay Park?
Bayside.
Or something?
Bayside,
Bayside
yes.
Park, and that everyone would be replaced, because I asked about it, but
That's right.
I've
Speaking
haven't
of,
seen
has
anything
anyone-
since.
He did respond.
But that was to the town,
Yes, it was.
so. Okay, that's
Nothing.
Karina, I think we've worked you over. You're ready for a toddy, probably. So, well, at this point, it is 3:08, and I'd like to call for an adjournment. Do I have,
So moved.
Second.
all right, 3:08, adjourned.
Well done.
Well done.
Oh, no,
I'm so
not
sorry to
really.
hear about your mother. I did not know your mother. When did that
Yeah,
happen?
right about Christmas, right before
Right
Christmas.
before- Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and then I had all the family there.
Oh,